Next book I'm going to read is a story about Ping. Now, Ping is a little duckling who lives on a boat on the Yangtze River in China. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful young duck named Ping. Ping lived with his mother and his father and 2 sisters and 3 uncles, 11 aunts, 7 uncles, and 42 cousins. Their home was a boat with 2 wise eyes on the Yangtze River. Each morning as the sun rose from the east, Ping went out into the wilderness. They all marched one by one down a little bridge to the shore of the Yangtze River. All day they would hunt for snails and little fishes and other pleasant things to eat. But in the evening, as sun set in the west, "La la lee," would call the master of the boat. Quickly Ping and all his family would come scurrying. Quickly they would march one by one up over the little bridge and onto the wise-eyed boat, which was their home on the Yangtze River. Ping was always careful, very careful not to be last, because the last duck to cross over the bridge always got a spank on the back. But one afternoon, as the shadows grew long, Ping did not hear the call, because at that moment Ping was wrong side up trying to catch a little fish. By the time Ping got right side up, his mother and his father and his aunts were already marching, one by one, over the bridge. By the time Ping neared the shore, his uncles and his cousins were marching over, and by the time Ping reached the shore, the last of the 42 cousins had crossed the bridge. Ping knew he would be the very last duck if he crossed the bridge, and he didn't want to be spanked. So he hid. Ping hid behind some tall grass, and as dark came, the pale moon shone in the sky. Ping watched the wise-eyed boat slowly sail away down the Yangtze River. All night long, Ping slept near the grasses on the bank of the river with his head tucked under his wing, and when the sun rose up from the east, Ping found he was all alone on the Yangtze River. There was no father or mother, no sisters or brothers, no aunts or uncles, and no 42 cousins to go fishing with Ping. So Ping started out to find them, swimming down the yellow waters of the Yangtze River. As the sun rose high in the sky, boats came, big boats, little boats, fishing boats, and beggars' boats, houseboats and raft boats, and all these boats had eyes to see with. But nowhere could Ping see the wise-eyed boat, which was his home. Then came a boat full of strange, dark fishing birds. Ping saw them diving for fish for their master. As each bird brought a fish to his master, he would give it a little piece of fish for pay. Closer and closer swooped the fishing birds near Ping. Now Ping could see shining rings around their necks, rings of metal so tight the bird could never swallow the big fish they were catching. Swoop, splash, splash, the ring birds were dashing here and there all about Ping, so down he ducked, swam under the yellow water of the Yangtze River. When Ping came up to the top of the water, far away from the fishing birds, he found little crumbs floating, tender little rice cake crumbs which made a pass to the houseboat. As Ping ate these crumbs, he came nearer and nearer to the houseboat. Then, splash, there in the water was a boy, a little boy with a barrel on his back, which was tied to a rope from the boat, just as all boat boys on the Yangtze River are tied to their boats. In the boy's hand was a rice cake. "Ow!" cried the little boy, and up dashed Ping and snatched at the rice cake. Quickly the boy grabbed Ping and held him tight. "Quack, quack, quack!" cried Ping. "Oh, oh!" yelled the little boy. Ping and the boy made such a splashing and such noise that the boy's father came running and the boy's mother came running, and the boy's sister and brothers came running, and they all looked over the edge of the boat at Ping and the boy splashing in the water on the Yangtze River. Then the boy's father and mother pulled at the rope, which was tied to a barrel on the little boy's back. They pulled and they pulled. Up came Ping and the little boy. "Ah, duck dinner has come to us," said the boy's father. "I will cook him with rice at sun tonight," said the boy's mother. "No, no, my nice duck is too beautiful to eat," cried the little boy. But down came a basket all over Ping, and he could see no more of the boy or the boat or the sky or the beautiful yellow water of the Yangtze River. All day long, Ping could only see the thin lines of sun which shone through the cracks in the basket, and Ping was very sad. After a while, Ping heard the sound of oars and felt the jerk of the boat as it was rowed down the Yangtze River. Soon the lines of sunshine which came through the cracks of the basket turned rose color, and Ping knew the sun was setting. Ping heard footsteps coming near to him. The basket was lifted immediately, and a little boy's hands were holding Ping. Quickly, quickly, the boy dropped Ping over the side of the boat, and Ping slipped into the water, the beautiful yellow water of the Yangtze River. Then Ping heard the call, "La la la lee." Ping looked, and there on the bank of the river was the wise-eyed boat, which was Ping's home, and Ping saw his mother and father, his aunts, all marching one by one up over the bridge. Swiftly, Ping turned and swam, paddling toward the shore. Now Ping could see his uncles marching one by one. Paddle, paddle. Ping hurried toward the shore. Ping saw his cousin marching one by one. Paddle, paddle. Ping neared the shore, but as Ping reached the shore, the last of Ping's 42 cousins marched over the bridge, and Ping knew he was late again. Marched Ping up over the little bridge, and spank came the spank on Ping's back. That meant he was the last one on the boat. Then at last Ping was back with his mother and his father, 2 sisters, 3 brothers, 11 aunts, 7 uncles, and 42 cousins. Home again on the wise-eyed boat on the Yangtze River. If I'd known then what I know now. This is the misadventures of a father. When we built this house, when I was 1, my dad was just learning how. Through the holes in the roof you can see the sun, and when it rains we have buckets of fun. My dad said, "Son, it will be all done if I'd known then what I know now." So they're gathering the rainwater in buckets. He put in plumbing when I was 2. My dad was just learning how. When my mom takes a bath and lets it drain, soap bubbles go down the lane. Dad said the neighbors would never complain if I'd known then what I know now. We did the wiring when I was 3. My dad was just learning how. When we flipped the switch on the new TV, getting ready to switch the cat lit up like a Christmas tree. That cat wouldn't hiss at me if I'd known now what I know now. If I'd known then what I know now. We built a kitchen when I was 5. My dad was just learning how. The stove gets cold and the fridge gets warm, and the sink fell down in a thunderstorm. Dad said they'd all be perfect form if I'd known then what I know now. So this is what the house looks like now. Would you like to live in this house? I wouldn't. We put up the chimney when I was 6. My dad was just learning how. We papered the bedroom when I was 7. My dad was just learning how. We papered the windows, we papered the door, we papered the bed right onto the floor. Dad said a nap wouldn't be a chore if I'd known then what I know now. We made chairs and a table when I was 8. My dad was just learning how. The chairs are too short and the table's too tall. At meal times, you can't see my sister at all. Dad said she wouldn't throw food at the wall if I'd known then what I know now. So, short chairs and a high table. We built the barn when I was 9. My dad was just learning how. The hay is downstairs, all soft and sweet, and the cows climb a ladder to sleep in the loft. Dad said they wouldn't keep falling if I'd known then what I know now. So here are all the animals downstairs and the cows going up to the loft. We got some chickens when I was 10. My dad was just learning how. They roost on the roof and they sit in the trees, they perch on the porch and lay eggs on your knees. Dad said these hens wouldn't be such a tease if I had known then what I know now. So there are the chickens. We gave a big party when I was 12. My dad is still learning how. The neighbors came and the animals too. We all said, Dad, what you say is true, but we still wouldn't want any dad but you, if we'd known then what we know now. Okay, the house would have turned out differently if I'd known then what I know now, says Dad. Instead, the roof leaks, the plumbing sends bubbles down the lane, and the stove gets cold while the fridge gets warm. In spite of it all, would this family trade in their dad for any other? Not a chance.